You wake up on a damp, beige carpet. There is no contract, no boss, and no orientation. The only guidance is a handwritten note taped to a plastic utility cart. Keep it clean. You are now the designated cleaner for a space that ignores every law of architecture. This isn't a role for a survivor. You are staff. You stand alone with a single machine against an infinite expanse of moist, smelling carpet, and the sheer scale of the task carries an immediate psychological weight. You click the power switch and the vacuum roars. The machine's motor smells of ozone, but it can't mask the cloying, stale scent of damp wool. Above you, the fluorescent lights pulse in a rhythm that makes your vision vibrate, sounding like a swarm of insects caught in the ceiling. The roar of the suction creates a wall of noise that makes you effectively deaf. You can no longer hear the soft scuttle of something moving behind the wallpaper, or the distant, distorted screams of others. To stay aware of your predators, you have to stop the machine, meaning every foot of cleaned carpet is a gamble with your life. Standard sensory deprivation is replaced by sensory irritation. There is never silence, and there is never a clean surface. The result is a constant, low-level panic that settles into your chest and refuses to leave. The geometry here follows a whim rather than a map. Scrub a stain, walk through a doorway, and find the exact same mess waiting. This overhead view shows how the rooms dynamically twist and fold, depositing you right back where you started. You are tethered to the walls by a heavy black extension cord. The outlets are erratic. Some make the vacuum scream with too much power, while others provide so little the motor barely wheezes. Finding a new outlet often involves a physical struggle. You might find one 10 feet up a wall, forcing you to use your utility cart as a precarious step to keep the machine running. As you balance on the cart, you look back at the hallway you just finished. The yellow carpet is already returning to its damp, stained state. The environment resets to a baseline of decay the moment you turn your back. The system ensures your reach is always shorter than the distance to the goal. The physical struggle with the cord is a constant reminder that in this space, effort never equals progress. You find yourself matching the vacuum's back and forth strokes to the constant frequency of the lights. Over time, the buzzing drone starts to sound like distinct patterns, whispers that instruct you on how to handle the corners more effectively. You begin to take a genuine, obsessive pride in the straightness of your vacuum lines. Eventually, the vacuum nozzle hits a thick, iridescent residue that clogs the hose with a wet, choking sound. It pulses against the plastic. These are biological markers left by the entities that roam these halls to define their territory. You've noticed the jagged shadows in the corners always stop at the edge of these pulsing trails. By erasing the boundaries that keep predators in their own sectors, your cleaning turns a safe area into a dinner bell. This radar map shows how the clean zone effectively removes the only barriers these creatures respect. When the panic becomes too much, you retreat to your utility cart. You spend hours organizing, moving a spray bottle left, then 2 inches to the right, treating rags like religious artifacts. This is the small-scale control fallacy. Because the maze is infinite, you exert absolute authority over 3 square feet of plastic. You stop looking for an exit because you're too afraid to leave the only thing that still belongs to you. You finish a massive section of hallway. For a moment, it looks perfect, a long, golden stretch of pristine fibers. Then a single drop of dark liquid falls from the ceiling. Within seconds, the building begins to sweat filth, reclaiming the carpet in a wave of dampness. The backrooms are a living organism, and the grime is its natural state. Your cleaning is an immune response that the environment overrides at will, transforming your job into a method of torture where the house always wins. You eventually find another person in a beige jumpsuit, but his eyes are milky and vacant. He moves in a perfect mechanical circle, vacuuming the same square foot of carpet while humming in the exact frequency of the fluorescent lights. He has been hollowed out until only the habit of the task remains. He is no longer an individual. He is a biological extension of the cleaning equipment. This is the inevitable future of the role. You try to map your progress by drawing grids on the wallpaper, but the environment mocks the effort. As seen here, the ink lines detach from the surface and slide away, rearranging themselves in a language you can't recognize. The meaningless labor takes a physical toll. Your shoulders stay permanently hunched, and your wrists throb from the motor's vibration. You look in a polished metal doorframe and see a gaunt stranger, someone who has traded their health for a space that doesn't exist in the real world. You find yourself talking to the vacuum. You tell it about the taste of coffee and the smell of rain, and you start interpreting mechanical clogs as words of encouragement. You argue with the machine about the best way to handle a corner. The desire to escape is replaced by a desperate need for the vacuum to tell you you're doing a good job. You stop searching for doors and start searching for the machine's approval, effectively severing your last ties to the world outside. You find a door marked break room and step into a small, clean office. For a few minutes, you sit in a chair and feel the first silence you've known in years. But the coffee in the pot is the same beige color as the carpet, and the chair is made of the same fabric as the walls. When you turn to leave, the door has vanished, leaving you in a room with no exit and a cup of beige liquid. You stop drawing maps, and you stop talking. You simply push the machine through the yellow hallways, the damp carpet clinging to your shoes, and you accept that there is no end to the shift. You see a new stain on the floor and feel a flicker of genuine satisfaction. You watch the fibers return to their pristine state, knowing the filth will return in an hour, and you find that you don't mind. This diagram shows the scale of your new reality. The individual is swallowed by the pattern of the repeating grid. You have become a permanent part of the facility's maintenance cycle, the ghost in the halls, pushing the machine through the yellow void forever.